We're going to start this the same way we start everything at Columbus, so with prayer. So Chrissy's going to lead it.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Saint Marcus of Pontius,
Pray for us.
Very good mother.
Pray for us.
Let us remember.
Pray for each other.
All right, everybody, welcome. If there are any parents here who don't know us or know us well yet, we promise you'll get to know us. This is Mr. Delgado and I'm Ms. Insua, and we are the moderators of CCNN. So before we get started and talk to you about why we're here tonight and why we do this usually every year, we just want to make some really exciting announcements. You might have seen it on the school's social media, in the principal's newsletter. It's been everywhere. 3 of our students who are present here today,
Right there.
as well as some of our graduates from last year, worked on a couple stories last year and one big documentary, and all 3 of them, Chris, Gonzalo, and Antonio, are now National Emmy Award winners.
That's huge.
Which
To give you some perspective of what that means, last year we've never won a National Emmy, and we have been able to get $45,000 of scholarships in the last 2 years for our kids. And we haven't gotten a National Emmy winner.
we've gotten 12 regional ones.
12 regional ones,
but
but never a national one. So they have the potential of raising more scholarship money than anyone in the past because of what they've done. It's a lot of work that they put in, and a couple of tough losses sometimes, but good. It's okay to lose sometimes when it leaves a little, your tank not full, so you gotta refill it every once in a while. So that's great news, and also the second thing is, go ahead.
National Emmy Awards, we said, but the second one is NSPA, National Scholastic Press Association, has just awarded us again with the Pacemaker Finalist Award. Basically, this award states that we are like the program to watch in the United States of America. And bottom line is, right now we're a finalist. In the past 3 years, we have won the award. We've been the broadcast pacemaker for a daily show across the nation. And now we're up for it again. We'll find out in a couple months. Takes a little while to find out. Right, I think November. At the first convention, we find out if we win or not. But we're very proud of them. This is a big broadcast that they put together 3 shows at the end of last year. I submit them in May, and then we find out now about our finalist status. Aside from that, 3 of our specific stories were also nominated.
The one that won the National Emmy is now up for that in the NSPA. We did a story last year that the boys woke me up at 6:45 in the morning on Thanksgiving Friday, the day after Fidel Castro died, and they told me, "Wake up, you bum! I need equipment. Fidel Castro died." And I had to run to the school on my day off, the day after my birthday, and I came and I gave them the equipment, and they spent the whole day editing. And then they showed up at my house like around 6, and they left like at 10 o'clock at night. But that package one is now a finalist as well.
For Best News Story.
For Best News Story, yeah. And the story that we did on Sebastian Ortiz, may he rest in peace, is also a finalist as well. So we'll find out about this in November. Following November, we have to submit October 19th to the 25th is the Student Television Network Challenge. That is officially, for me, always the beginning of competition season. That being said, your kids are going to ask a lot of you, okay? For the next 4 years, or how many years your son has left, we're gonna ask you to trust them with us, right? Trust us with them. When challenge starts, it is literally 5 days. They give us a prompt, and we have 5 days to make a PSA, a news story, a sports story, and a film. The film we've never been good at, but fortunately for us, Mr. Oyoa has joined on board. He's controlling now the film side of this production, okay? To give you some insight, last year for our challenge, we created Sebastian's package and Charlie's package. They both won Emmys, and they won a National Emmy. So just because it doesn't win the challenge doesn't mean that that package doesn't give you, it just keeps on giving. These things keep on giving later on. The challenge is very difficult to win, it's very. But it's a nationwide contest, and just to give you some perspective, Hawaii, the kids that participate in their challenge, sleep at the school for 6 days. They literally go to school, they go to their gym, they change, they shower, they go do their stories. They come back, they stay up till 2, 3 in the morning editing every night, calling people, making, like that's how, Hawaii is considered one of the best, one of the best states in the nation when it comes to film and television production. It's Hawaii, it's California, it's Florida. All right, I'm not gonna ask your kids to sleep here. I like to go home to my family. But there might be days where on Friday right after school, they'll come with us and we'll be traveling all around Miami, filming, editing, doing a bunch of stuff. And they'll get home at 10 o'clock. And then the next morning they'll wake up at 7 and we'll do it all over again.
Last year on the Sunday of Challenge, we started at Tropical Park at 5:30 in the morning. And that night we didn't get home till past midnight.
Yeah.
Because we're doing 4 stories, 4 things at a all at different times, different interviews, different things are going on. So if your sons are involved in the challenge, okay?
And even if they're not, freshmen are allowed to come along just to help and watch so they can get the experience. So when it's their turn to take over, they know, all right, unless I went through this. I didn't actually do it, but I saw it happen. They learned. Antonio, Chris, Gonzalo, they all went through when they were freshmen. They saw the craziness, and now they're seniors, they're ready for it, okay? So please be patient, understanding. To throw a little more salt on a wound, we're part of different organizations. Student Television Network, Florida Scholastic Press Association, National Scholastic Press Association, the National Federation of High Schools, everything. FSPA decided to put their district competition on the Saturday of STN Challenge. So we are literally going to be competing Friday, Saturday, switch gears from 7 to 4 p.m. on that Saturday, compete for our district, and then 4 p.m. stop, go back to chat. The little hair that I have left is gonna fall off at that point because it's gonna be stressful. All this, yes, sir.
And 2 more things. We also have homecomings that Friday night.
Homecomings that Friday night.
And Brothers on Breakfast on Sunday.
And the Melbourne Film Challenge is that weekend as well. So you can see it's just nonstop. That being said, a lot of stuff that we do, our kids use equipment a lot. And they're always taking out equipment. We have in our equipment room, and we did a rough estimate, around $56,000 worth of AV equipment. That's a lot. That's a lot, period, for a high school. Like I've had professionals come in here from CBS, NBC.
This morning, Pam Gigante.
Yes, Pam Gigante from NBC.
And she looked in our equipment room and couldn't believe what the kids here have access to.
Yes.
That's an incredible privilege. A privilege that they have access to cameras and equipment and editing software and things that professionals have access to. But all that comes with great responsibility.
Yes.
And that's what we want to talk about.
The last 2 years, we have spent on average $7,000 just repairing and replacing equipment. So I'm asking you as the parents, if your son has a piece of equipment, be on top of them. Make sure that they are watching and taking care of the equipment. Make sure that when they're about to bring it back, they say everything in the bag the right way. Because you have no idea how many times, last year, one of our best seniors, I was missing a lens, a $500 lens. I asked about it in November. I don't know where the lens is. December, no one knows where the lens is. January, no one knows where the lens is. February, all of a sudden the kid comes in with the lens. Oh, it was in my car. For 4 months, it was in my car. I didn't check the glove compartment.
And there are some times that then we need a lens because we're going into competition, and then we spend $500 because we need a lens.
Yeah. So please, it's often misplaced. Please be vigilant with your kids. Make sure that I even called a school in California, and they sent me their system of how to check in, check out equipment and everything. Where Antonio's been putting it in place for the last week and a half. Hopefully this reduces it. I know it's never going to go away. But just be vigilant because that's money that I haven't been able to upgrade our studio, our actual desk and stuff for 4 years because I just don't have the money to do that and travel and replace equipment and keep these kids on cutting edges. And all the Emmys that last year, how much we spent $3,000 just submitting for Emmys.
In order to submit, they won a national Emmy, wow, it's awesome. But in order to submit for the Emmys, each submission is over $100.
And we pay for it.
We pay for it.
We take it out of the club.
Out of the CCNN budget.
The CCNN budget.
So they have those benefits, but we need them to be very responsible with the equipment that they're handling.
Okay, so this is the CCNN requirements, okay? Students' responsibility, students must take initiative and volunteer to learn. Why do we say that? Okay, this club has grown to close to 75 kids, okay? That's the club. We have sophomores, juniors, and seniors in class, all right? But the freshmen are in the club, and sometimes they show up, and they're like, I'm not doing anything. What am I supposed to do? Christy and I can't go to every single person and be like, you do this, you do this, you do this. Why? Because our seniors are doing jobs, our juniors are doing jobs, our sophomores are doing jobs. What we require is for the freshmen to spend a couple weeks looking around. Oh, I see production, I see anchoring, I see audio, I see graphics, and then come up to me and be like, I want to be a graphic designer. Perfect, not a problem. Come here with me, Arthur Falcone, come here. Boom, Arthur, start teaching the freshmen. If you have any questions, come up to me. What do you want to do? You want to do teleprompter? You want to be on camera? Not a problem. Come here. Chris, come here. Start mentoring him. That's what I do. I have my seniors teach my juniors, teach my sophomores, teach my freshmen. So they have to come up and involve us. Okay? I have a group of 3 freshmen right now filming freshman football. You know why they're filming it? Because the first day of school, they're like, I want to film freshman football. You got it. You're filming freshman football. And they're out there doing it. But if they're just coming in expecting us to come up to them and be like, so what do you want to do? What are you interested in? I just don't have the time to do that. I'm going to help them, and I'm going to help them build, and especially when they get into the classes, and we're able to hold a grade over their head, that's huge.
The truth is that when we really get to know them personally, most of them anyway, is when they get into the classes. So some of the sophomores, for example, now are in class, you know, the full year with us, with both of us, and just in the first couple of weeks, we've already identified 2 or 3 kids who are excellent writers that we didn't even know we had.
We didn't even know we had.
You know? And now we're like, great, now we can hone these skills and hopefully these kids will be part of the national team for next year. You know? That's the way it works. The mentoring thing is great because it's just like being a parent. Both of us are parents. When you tell your kid to do something, they most of the time don't want to do it. But when someone else, like their friend, tells them to do it, they are more prone to listen.
Absolutely. It's
So
perfect
really
that she
works out.
said STN team, because it's a good segue to the next thing. Our competition team, we have 2 competitions that we really concentrate on. It's STN and FSPA. STN is for the 20 best kids in the club, period. If you're one of the 20 best, you're on that team. FSPA, we used to try really hard for it. This is going to sound very conceited. It wasn't easy. My seniors compete in that, and the rest of the state has no shot. Let's be honest. So last year, I changed it to my freshmen and sophomores. We still beat everybody. My freshmen and sophomores last year beat the entire state of Florida. Raul was part of that team. Who else was part of that team that's in here? Victor was part of that team. Stevie was part of that team. They made a whole show by themselves, and they beat the rest of the state of Florida's juniors and seniors. FSPA is more for developmental now for me. All right, I use it in the beginning of the year to get the seniors loose and start competing again, and then throughout the year, online submissions. If your kid's a freshman and he made a great story, we're gonna submit it. And if it bumps the seniors package out, it bumps the seniors package out. There's no favoritism here. Whatever is the best is gonna be submitted. Period. That requires a level of commitment that is above and beyond. I'm not telling you that your kid cannot be part of anything else in Columbus. He can. Okay? Gonzalo is one of our best anchors. He just won a national Emmy. He's the president of the Thespians Club, the drama club, okay? Last year's vice president was an offensive lineman on the football team. Last year's president was the president of the coding club. As long as you communicate with me what you need to do, I will work around your schedule to make it sure that CCNN fits there somehow, some way, okay? But you have to communicate. That's a big part of the CCNN, learning how to communicate and asking awkward questions and doing things that you might know, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but you got to get used to it. I tell them, you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, okay? So that level of commitment, it starts. And the earlier you catch the bug, the more that you'll just start seeing your kids, I got to do this for CCNN. I have 2 parents right there, Bruce and Cynthia and Ms. Castellanos. They'll tell you all the time, I got to do this for CCNN. But you're always at CCNN. Yes, I'm always at CCNN. But think about it this way. They're with us, doing stuff for school, trying to make money for scholarships.
They're not doing anything bad.
They're not doing anything bad, except for hanging out with us. So, yeah. So that's the pros and the cons. So get ready for a huge commitment if your son wants to be really good at this. I've had a lot of kids come to the club that just like, I just want to learn. I'm not interested in being fully committed. I'm okay with that.
I'm doing this for fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the team.
Not a problem. You can do this for fun, and you can do this. And sometimes the kids that do it for fun end up winning awards and all that stuff because they just learn so much, and awesome, cool. And they just take it lackadaisical. But the ones that really are committed are usually the ones that are traveling with us and doing all this extra stuff. New this year. You want to take this one on?
Yeah. well, basically our seniors. So Javi, who's not here because he's sick, Antonio, Gonzalo, Chris, and Alejandro Gonzalo. And Franco. Luis have gotten together and they've become members of PBS SRL. Columbus CCNN Live is now a student reporting lab. So what does that mean? Basically, they get assignments from PBS, directly from PBS, every month. They submit pitch sheets for their stories, their own ideas, and when they submit their actual work, their actual packages, they have the opportunity to be aired on PBS nationally. So just a couple of weeks ago, they were already on in South Florida with Pam Gigante, with their package on Blue Missions that was shot and edited over the summer. So they did a piece on Blue Missions, and instead of showcasing some reporter in the Dominican Republic doing a story on Blue Missions, Chris's face was on there. So it's a great opportunity that, again, can open the door to tons of scholarships. As a junior in high school, a senior in high school, you can say, I've been on PBS. My story has been on PBS.
On national news.
That's not the same as saying,
the whole nation.
You know, my story was printed in the Miami Herald's neighbors section.
Yeah.
Not the same thing.
It aired on PBS NewsHour across the nation. That's huge.
So very, very big bump for our program, for the kids, for their future.
Next up. All right, Silver Knights and Scholarship. I already told you how much money we've been bringing in for scholarships, but another benefit that CCNN has been contributing to is we have two Silver Knight winners and four Silver Knight, three.
I think it's three.
Three Silver Knight honorable mentions. That's a huge, prestigious award. And if you ask the Silver Knight candidates, they'll tell you that they come up to us, they're like, what should I do here? And we help them build their portfolio with Ms. Galvez Cuesta to build their portfolio. And I've added a new little thing. If you come into the studio, you'll see every single time I get a CCNN Silver Knight winner, we create a bust of them. And they are immortalized in CCNN. They have a statue of themselves in CCNN. That to me, listen, the Silver Knight brings nothing to CCNN. I just think it's such an awesome award that your service and how intelligent you are in a specific service, and you're picking us to represent what you want to do for Columbus, that's an honor to us. Just, it brings nothing to the club except for honor, so I want to honor you. And if you go there, you'll see a statue of Andrew Breeze and a statue of Anthony Martinez. And they're immortalized as CCNN legends. Like, people talk about them now like folklore. Like, oh my gosh, Anthony Martinez was here one day.
The freshmen are like, is that guy real?
Yeah.
Like, was he really here? You know?
So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But it's something that we help them out. It's toward the end of the year. There's a big ceremony at the James L. Knight Center, and it's awesome. I mean, last year when Anthony won it, I was crying. And then our two other seniors, Chris Vasquez and Daniel DeVillers, won honorable mention. So we've got an honorable mention in. We've won it twice in media arts, in journalism. We got honorable mention twice, and in English we got it once. So it's pretty cool. But like we said, to be successful, we need your help. This is a picture of us coming back from Atlanta. The last time we won the national championship.
This is Anaheim.
No, Chris is there.
Chris.
All right.
Sir, that's Anaheim.
That's Anaheim.
That's Anaheim?
Yeah. My shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a picture of Anaheim. Okay, that was last year. 2 years ago, we were coming back from Atlanta, and 3 years ago, we were coming back from San Diego. That to me is the coolest feeling on earth, coming to the terminal and seeing all the parents there with balloons and flyers and everything. And these kids are coming back from a 5-hour, 3-hour flight to see their family there. Local reporters are there covering it. It's a big deal. Winning the national championship for television production, especially in the news world, everyone knows it. Everyone knows about it. I know, like, in Miami, people don't know that this is a big deal, but like in the news world, they know. And we've won it twice. And the school's been even kind enough. And I didn't wear it. I can't believe I didn't wear mine. Did any of you wear it?
I'm in the car.
Oh, yeah. The school buys us national championship rings. Like, I have 2 national championship rings for winning it for an academic award. It's awesome. I'm really proud of it. I know Christy's really proud of it, but it's like, you have no idea. A lot of work. So let's go to the next thing. We have to raise, to keep this club running, $65,000 a year. And I get nothing from Columbus. I literally raised this, me and her, and just being, there it is, there's the ring right there, Gonzalo has it. This is just her and I being constant nags and driving people absolutely crazy. I know it's a pain in the butt, but that's why I start so early with this. Last year, we started in March. I had the incoming freshmen come in February, and I told them what they had to do. And then I told the rest of CCNN in March, and I gave them a deadline of June 1st. At June 1st, only 40% of the club had turned in their ads and the commercials. By July 1st, it was like 60. By August 1st, it was 80. We still don't have 100%. I still have people that have not brought their ads. This is a problem for us. Why? Because when you start sending year-long ads in October, it's not really a year-long, so people are not getting their money's worth. Secondly, we're running the show every single day. And as Stevie could tell you over there, creating these ads, because he's in charge of marketing, is not easy. It's a pain in the butt. Calling these companies, we want to meet up with you, how can we film? Sometimes we go and film and they're not there, and then they come back and the parents are driving people everywhere. It's such a pain in the butt. So this year, parents, please, in March, when I tell everybody, this is how much we have to raise, I need this by June 1st, please be on top of your kids and just tell them to do it. Don't do it for them, but just be, did you get your ads in for CCNN? It's important for them. Why is this important? Let me tell you why. If your kid makes the national team, how much has Chris paid to go on the national team for the last few years? Nothing. Don't pay a dime. Because I remember when I was in Columbus, my parents were two middle-class parents. And for me to tell them I need $1,500 to travel across the country, they would be like,
you're not going.
You're not going. All right? And that's not fair, because I could have been the most talented kid on earth, and just because I didn't have the financial means, that's not fair. So I raised all this money so that we can pay for them. This trip includes airfare, your contest registration, the hotel stay,
and a stipend for food.
And $30 a day for food. So if your kid brings any money, it's to spend it on souvenirs and crazy stuff. All right? Last year we did ask for some money because we were in Anaheim and I had never been to Disneyland and I wanted the whole team to go, so we went to Disneyland. It was like $100 for every kid to go to Disneyland. But that's about it. Okay? Even last year we went to the Anaheim the Angels baseball game and we picked it up as well. And it's a nice trip. Secondly, every year we go to Orlando to compete for the state convention. If I were to charge the parents the right amount, it would be about $800 per parent. Because we pay for the convention, the hotels, the bus to go up there, everything. All we charge parents for FSPA is $150 to take some of the burden off of us. Between traveling nationwide and traveling to the state of Florida, it roughly costs us, depending if it's West Coast or East Coast, anywhere from $35,000 to $45,000.
And then add in the costs of the Emmys.
The Emmys.
Other contests that we enter throughout the year, for example, the film festivals that Chris and his team have
Exactly.
won.
Equipment repair, which is...
This morning there was a broken tripod.
And I have to fix that.
It happens all the time.
$150 just to fix that tripod. Okay? So it's constant. And I don't want to be always calling the parents and be like, oh, I need you to donate money. I need you to donate money. And I don't want parents to just go, well, I don't want my son reaching for an ad, so here's a donation of $400. Because I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair for the kid that doesn't have the money to do that. That's why I make them all go out and get a commercial. Plus, I have learned that if a 14-year-old kid can go up to a businessman and say, hey, give me money, when I sit him down in front of a cancer patient, someone that's being deported, someone that's suffering a loss in their life, they already start having that confidence to start asking any kind of question. So it's part of the learning process. But I wish the ads were enough money. They're not. Starting in about 3 weeks, we have a fundraiser called Snap Raise. It is the easiest fundraiser that I have ever seen in my life. I love it. Last year we raised $28,000. My goal this year is to raise, we netted. We raised $39,000, but the company takes a percentage. I want to net $35,000. Why is that? Because with that kind of money, I can start upgrading the studio. I can start getting the studio, and I don't want to be digital. I want to have a live set on one side of the room and be digital on the other.
Look at Victor's face.
Yeah, right? Why do I want this? Because Student Television Network, we have won the national championship twice, and we have never won the best show in the nation in Student Television Network. And I'm a perfectionist, and I want to go to the convention one year and win every single award, because everyone hates me, so I want them to give them a real reason to hate CCNN. And since I can never get that perfect show because we're all digital, that's my next step. After I get the studio, my next goal is to create a mobile production unit. What does this mean? So that means instead of your kids traveling to Trash Pal with $10,000 of equipment and hiking up there, we can drive our van in, hook up some cameras, and do it. And this is not unheard of. There's like 6 or 7 programs that are top programs in the nation that already have it. So I already have goals to raise money and buy things so your kids can use. And can you imagine going to college and going into your college production and be like, oh, we have a live product? Oh, don't worry, I know how to do this. No, but this is mobile. He's like, come on, your stuff you have is JV compared to what I had in high school. That's my goal, to make your kids so prepared for college. Let's be honest, my kids come back from UF and UM right now, and they're like,
Anthony came back just the other day.
yeah, and they're like, this is a joke compared to what you did to us. Like, they're making us do one news story for the whole semester. We make them do one news story a month.
Minimum.
Minimum.
In my class.
Okay? So it's like, they're like, it's ridiculous, but this is what it requires. That snap raise, for those of you that already did it last year, it's going to be super easy. The kids, all they have to do is go sign back into their account, send out all the emails, they're good to go. The freshmen I'm going to spend more time with because they're going to have to create their accounts and learn how to do the process. But once you do it 1 year, it's just about resending emails and everything. And I kind of make it fun and enjoyable. How do I do this? It starts in November, it ends in December. So I make the weekend of Thanksgiving, I tell everyone, you're back at zero. Whoever brings the most money in this weekend gets a $50 Amazon gift card. Whoever are the top 3 getters of money throughout the year don't have to pay for FSPA at all. They get it for free, and they get a stipend every single day, which, Chris, you were one of them. Last year, Chris went to FSPA, didn't have to pay for his trip, and every day I gave him $30, and he did it differently. He was ordering pizzas and giving it to girls and be like, hey, ladies, look at me, I got it. It's a different story, but he's a senior, so he kind of knows the ropes already. But it's a fun, what I love about CCNN the most, and I'm going to be completely honest, I played basketball here for 4 years. I used to be an athlete at one point in my life, not anymore, okay? But I loved seeing kids that have never been in sports learn how to be part of a team. I've seen kids that have never been part of sports and experience that non-stop camaraderie with everyone, learn how to communicate and grow. Anthony Martinez, from a freshman year to when he graduated for his senior year, was
the kid who won the silver medal.
Completely different person. Was very timid, didn't talk to anybody. Senior year, he walked around like no one could touch him. And it was because of the club. He grew into the role, and it's awesome. And it's something that I want to keep on giving every single year, but I need your help with this, okay? The next thing I want to talk to you about is a huge event. Mr. Fernandez, Ms. Diana, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the Media Excellence Awards. This used to be an idea for a fundraiser. I don't even care if we make a dime out of this, but I want to keep on having this every year. Because the Media Excellence Awards, it's a gala event that we have here in Columbus, okay? And our boys nominate industry professionals in South Florida, okay? They nominate people that inspire them. And then we have an Emmy type award in our cafeteria. And the cafeteria does not look like the cafeteria. It looks like $1 million, okay?
And the first year that we did it, we thought to ourselves, like, okay, we're going to invite all these people here, and no one is going to come. None of these people are going to come. Why would they come to have dinner at a high school with a bunch of kids who think they're cool?
300 people.
300 people showed up the first year.
And the people...
It was amazing.
Vivian Gonzalez, John Morales, Elier Rodriguez, everyone was here mingling, industry professionals. Second year, we were telling people, no, you can't come in anymore. It's packed. We have to cut it off. But what I loved the best was David Perez, who is now the lead anchor as a sophomore at the University of Miami for their show. David Perez can call Will Mansell from NBC6, from Channel 10, anytime he wants. And be like, Will, I just did a story. I want you to look at it for me. And Will Mansell goes, bring it over, David. And he will check it. Okay? Gonzalo last year got Chris Van Villiat, the entertainment host for Channel 7. All right? Male, young guy, does entertainment, which is what Gonzalo wants to do. Gonzalo could call this guy whenever he wants. He was like, whatever you need, I'll help you out. Okay? Chris has Trent Eriks, the Local 10's weatherman's number. That kind of networking is unmatched. And no other high school offers that. That is why I want to keep on doing this. I don't care if we make a dime.
In fact, we invite other schools to basically report on our event. And they fight. Their teachers tell us that they fight to figure out who's going to come because it's such a great opportunity that night to meet people, to figure out who you can ask for an internship, who you can touch base with and come back to later. We've even had actual reporters, television production professionals, write letters of recommendations for our students to get into
Nelly Rubio, Cam Giganti. Cam Giganti got David Perez into UM.
Not to mention that half of them are the judges for the Silver Night.
Yeah, exactly. So it helps
that's
out a lot.
pretty important too.
Yeah. But this event roughly costs about $42,000 a year to run. And for the last 3 years, we have probably lost $2,000 off the event. And that money comes out of our budget. And I'm willing to pay it. But I would love to be able to just make the money so that the event is covered completely, so that we don't have to raise extra money from our funds to keep this event going. So we're gonna ask you, if you know anybody that can sponsor the event, and I'm not talking about just an ad, even though if it's just an ad, we'll take it, okay? But I'm talking about the big time sponsors, like $1,500 to $3,000 to $5,000 sponsors. If you know anyone that's willing to do that for us, please let us know so that we can call them, because it's literally Christy, myself, an alumni Mick Maspons, which this is his baby. He's the one that came up with it. We're the ones calling people, asking. I call my brother every year. He's the CEO of Cleveland Clinic. Ozzy, you want to do it? I'm not giving you any money. All right, man, thanks a lot. Call my cousin. Hey, you want to? That's how it is. And I'm just doing it so that the kids can make these connections. It's so important. And my wife also loves going to the event every year because she buys a nice dress and makes herself all dolled up. She hates me right now for doing this.
Yeah. So the event sponsorship levels are up here, 1,500, 3,000, or 5,000. They each come with a certain number of seats, obviously, if they sponsor at these levels. You can also buy seats individually. We encourage all our parents to attend the event.
Yes.
Support your sons. If your sons are younger, freshmen, sophomores, bring them
so they can
can see what it's like.
All of our boys are commentators and they're presenters, and they're there in tuxedos. It's a black tie event. They're there in tuxedos presenting alongside industry professionals. I mean, it's amazing. It's a really cool event.
We won't bother you again about this until January, because we have Snap Raise first, and we know that it's a lot. So, after Christmas in January, you'll start getting emails, reminds from us, basically talking about the event and saying, look, remember, if you know anyone who can sponsor, if you'd like to buy tickets yourself, if you can help us with anything, really, because, the truth is that in the past, we have now, currently, some of our senior moms and some of our, younger kids' moms who we know very well who help us out for the event. But 2 of our really, really involved moms, their sons graduated last year. So we need more people to help Cynthia and Mrs. Castellanos and everybody else who's involved in helping with the committee.
Yes.
So
please, whatever you can do to help us run this. It's a huge event, and honestly, I feel like I get older in April because it's just so stressful for us. And not only that, but we take your kids on a publicity tour. So we're on $7.90 the ticket on NBC.
We say that we're part-time employees of Columbus in the second semester.
We're never here.
We're out there.
Channel 10.
Here and there, whatever.
Last year we were on iHeartRadio on the Podcast Chernobyl show, and then we went to what was it?
Stitches
103.5, and they put our kids on the air and they promote it. It's a cool experience, and these kids get to see what it's really like to be in these things. But it's just very stressful, so we definitely need your help, whatever you can do. So what we need from you, okay? We're not asking you for money, okay? Although if you'd like to donate money,
we're happy
to receive them. Rather contacts, people that you know that might be willing to donate, that might be able to buy a table or sponsor the event. Okay, I talked about that, and remember to take 40,000, 60. This year I did the numbers. It was $65,000 to run the club this year. Next up, if you're not getting our notifications, we have a CCNN Parents Remind. So if you text 81010 and put @CCNN, you will get my nagging, constant text messages about good things, about bad things, about things that we're going to start competing in. It's nonstop. I'm very relentless, and so is she. So please join it.
Please, it helps out because especially when different events are coming up, we alert you to them. For example, if your son is going to FIU J-Day, which is our district
October 21st,
we would tell you the night before, hey, remember they have to be there at 8 a.m. at the Graham Center, FIU University Park. Things that your sons might forget to tell you.
And will, because they're boys.
So we remind you, we tell you, so text 810